We are just getting this breaking news. Russian officials have just released a statement saying Ukrainian naval vessels ignored warning shots on the Black Sea yesterday, forcing Russian vessels to open fire on and seize the 3 watercraft. Moments ago, President Trump saying he's not happy about the situation. The Russians maintain Ukraine illegally entered Russian territorial waters in the Kerch Strait. That's the major choke point between the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov, which up until now has been considered an international passageway both countries have used. Russia claims Ukrainians were the first to aim their guns at the Russian Coast Guard, and you can see it developing right there. A Russian Coast Guard vessel ramming one of the Ukrainian boats, then seizing them, and some 28 sailors. Up to 6 Ukrainian seamen were reportedly injured. The incident ratcheting up tensions ahead of the week's important meeting between President Trump and Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the G20 in Argentina. The British newspaper The Guardian now saying, forget Brexit, Ukraine is the biggest threat to Europe. With us in a Fox Business exclusive from Moscow is the man sometimes referred to as Putin's banker, Andrey Kostin, chairman and president of VTB, Russia's second largest bank. And by the way, we should mention both VTB and Kostin personally have been sanctioned. All right, Andrey, the Western world is saying this is Russian aggression and must stop immediately as it pertains to what happened at the Kerch Strait. Is this Russian aggression?
Well, it's very strange to hear it. You know, I think the only person who benefits from this is Mr. Poroshenko, of course, because he's introducing a martial law, because he has a problem with his elections. But definitely that has nothing to do with Russian aggression. That was just a provocation, that's quite clear, to the benefit of Mr. Poroshenko's political aims.
So, Petro Poroshenko, of course, the president of Ukraine, you're saying it's his way of securing his vote that's coming up. But I have to tell you, Andrey, the world is watching. We have video that shows a Russian ship ramming a Ukrainian tugboat at the strait, which both countries are allowed to pass through to the Sea of Azov, which they are allowed to navigate. At least 3 injured. The ships have been seized, and we're just days from the G20. I mean, how do you foresee this altering what was to be an agenda between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump on oil prices and renegotiating that 1987 Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty because President says he's going to withdraw from it because the Russians are cheating? How does this change that agenda?
Liz, we had it before. You know, just before we started to discuss something between your president and our president, or straight after that, something happens, then which prevents for any improvement of relationship between our 2 countries. On one hand, Mr. Trump is saying to Mr. Putin that he would like to seek better relationship with Russia, but soon after the meetings, there are new sanctions, there's a new accusation, so we just get used to this.
You do not expect much then, but sanctions were surely going to be on the table during the Putin-Trump meeting, and these were sanctions that were put into place starting back in 2014 when Russia and its militants had snapped off the peninsula of the Crimea. You know, you've personally been sanctioned, which means for now your ability to do business with the U.S. is frozen. How are you conducting business with this freeze?
Well, you know, you live and you will think, I will die, I will die, I will die every day. You'll get crazy. And if every day somebody is saying, you're under sanctions, you're under sanctions, you just accept it as a part of your life. You know, I am 62. I am too old to be afraid of anything in this life, I think. So from this point of view, I can't influence the situation. You know, I'm a banker. I always conducted a good and fair business with all American banks.
Russia, though, is increasingly isolated. And as you and your bank have been sanctioned, now you've been disinvited from the World Economic Forum in Davos in January. You know, you've been going for years. We met there. I think I've conducted no fewer than 6 interviews over the years with you. How did the Davos people tell you you're not welcome, and what reason did they give?
Look, I was recently at the APEC meeting at Papua New Guinea, and I can tell you most of the participants were on side of Chinese when Mr. Pence was very critical on China. And no, Davos is still 2 months to go, so we shall see.
You just said that most of the countries at APEC were on China's side and not the U.S., but would Vladimir Putin stand by if he felt that another country was conducting unfair trade? And, you know, we're pushing you on this because it really matters to President Trump, and he's put a major flag in the ground on this one and saying we've got to get a better deal when it comes to trade, a fair deal with China. Wouldn't Russia stand up for the same thing if it felt that there were problems with the way fair trade was being conducted?
I agree with Mr. Trump on one thing. He puts America first. We would like to put Russia first. That's true. Everything else, you know, we can talk hours about who is right, who is wrong.
If you ask Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko, which we did just a year ago, he would say Ukraine first. This situation's far from over. Here's what he said. Will you get Crimea back?
We will get Donbas back. We will get Crimea back.
Andrey, what do you say to that?
Well, I have nothing against the statement that Mr. Poroshenko would say that Ukraine is first. But, you know, he's behaving now as Ukraine if Crimea is part of Ukraine by bringing the ships to the territory, to the sea. But you know, if tomorrow he decides to bring tanks to Crimea and saying that it is a Ukrainian territory, what's going to happen? Just imagine.
This week I was supposed to attend your Russia calling conference the VTB is putting on, but then they reassigned me to the G20. Let's talk about that. Have any U.S. bankers withdrawn? Who's coming? Do you get a sense it's harder when you have sanctions on you to draw international business leaders?
This year, we expect more than 2,000 guests from 63 countries. And as far as I remember, 39 people from the United States. They representing different investment funds.
Andrey, thank you. As always, we appreciate the Russian perspective. It's good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liz.